Desertwood Days, and I am here with Mr. Keith Ellis, entrepreneur, comedian. Well, I'm not going to ask you to be funny today,
Okay,
okay?
good, good. Thank you.
But Keith, when did you realize this was the industry that you wanted to be in?
I don't know if I've still realized it is the industry I'm supposed to be in. I mean, I do comedy because it was on a bet once. One time, somebody bet me $100 if I would go on stage, and I didn't know that they knew the owner of the club. So he made the bet, and the owner said next week. I went the next week. I won second place, and I was like, let's see if I can get paid for this. And that's where it all started. I was like, so I started on pursuing that, the modeling, the acting, the comedy, just do anything in entertainment.
Right.
Yes.
See, that's what it takes with you guys. Just make a bet and you'll run up there and do it. But do you consider yourself self-trained? I mean, it's what is your style?
My style is it's just me talking to friends. I enjoy what I do. So it's just you get around your friends, your boys, whatever, and you just start talking and they start laughing.
Okay.
So my style is just it's free. I have material for about 45 minutes to an hour, but it's just conversation.
So when you're up there on stage, you see your friends out there in the audience.
Yes.
You're talking to your friends.
I make friends in 15 seconds. Yes.
Yes, I can see that.
So if you laugh, that time it's like we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna have some fun.
So how long have you been in the industry now?
I thought you were gonna ask personal questions.
No,
I've been
you
in
can just
business
throw out
at least 20 years.
20 years?
At least 20. From acting in 92 back in the days of Waiting to Exhale.
Okay.
Even prior to that, I was getting into the game of comedy back in the 80s and 90s.
Do you have a preference or do you like it all?
I like the comedy because it's if you're a good comedian, you can be a great actor.
Oh.
So you get to show both sides.
Okay.
So I like my comedy though, because now I get to bring up the things that are happening
right
as the day goes on, and you can get your voice across. Plus, I like my comedy's clean, so I get the families and I get a message across.
Right.
Always educate your audience.
I like that because I don't think a joke always have to be, I want to say, vulgar. I mean, that's someone's style.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking their style, but I don't think in order to be funny, you have to be vulgar.
And the way I do it, well, my mom always told me, she said, if I ever hear you use any profanity and I'm on TV, she said she would turn it off so fast, I would feel it. And I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, okay. I can see myself on stage now. You mother. Oh, mom's watching TV. You better step away. So
you would really get ready to say, hi, mother.
But the thing is, it's like, why not bring the whole family in? So if I can get all your dollars, all the whole family, you can take home my conversation in the car.
That's because you never know what little Keith is out in that audience that may say, hey, I enjoy doing that also.
Right, right. And I've gotten a lot of people come up to me after shows and said, you don't even use profanity in your shows. I'm like, no. And I was like, you recognize that? If it's funny enough, you won't even know I didn't use any profanity. Right. And that's my thing. Can I make it that funny that you won't even know that I didn't cuss?
Right. So you mentioned Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, yeah.
How is Keith Ellis related to Waiting to Exhale?
They came into town and they were doing a audition. And I was last minute. I was like, I'm going to go. And I was the last person to walk in the door. They let me come in. And then they cast me as an extra. And I had a job at the time. And I was like, no, I need to go ahead and apply myself to the job. Because I was on the set for, 12, 16 hours. And I walked off the set. I was like, I can't do this. And they tore all my paperwork up. And I laughed. I'm like, but you don't know who I am. And 3 days later, they called me for stand-in. So I came in to work with Michael Beach, Whitney, all those. So I'm standing in doing lines.
Oh, okay.
So this is like, okay, I'm like, okay, I can figure out this side of the film and the other side watching that. So there's been a few movies I've had the pleasure of working in.
Oh, well, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So your goal is to move further into acting, is that?
Well, I was in the acting and then I was like, let me get stronger in the comedy. And then once I become a headliner, then I'll go back into acting. So now I'm looking to go back into acting, yes, because I've headlined and I've got that on my resume. So now that's where I can go to any state or whatever and get paid at the same time. So if there's a movie somewhere, I might be looking for comedy.
So if there's an actor, is there any actor that really touches close to you as far as you being an actor that really inspires you?
I'd say, supposedly in a family member is Richard Pryor. So anyone that's telling the truth, that has a purpose, that's just telling it like it is, whether it's Chappelle, whether it's Carlin, it's just I like comics that actually have a substance to their comedy.
Um, you know what? The other day, I was looking at your photos.
Uh-huh.
Don't give me that eye.
Okay.
So, and I was thinking, you know who he kind of reminds me of? Gregory Hines.
I get that. Gregory Hines,
Yeah,
Tommy Davis. Me and Tommy Davis saw each other. We met at
yeah, I can
a
see a little
club,
bit of Tommy
and
Davis
we
also.
both looked at each other like, we need to talk to our dads. I'm like, yeah, we do. And we also almost have the same energy too.
Oh,
He's
yeah, he's
hyper. I'm pretty
hilarious.
hyper right
Yeah,
now, kind of
yeah,
sedated.
but I really saw Gregory Hines. I'm like, I wonder if he dances also.
I do dance.
You do?
I have some things in the works.
Oh, okay.
I do a lot of things people don't know that I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So I
we're
play
gonna find out
sax.
some of those
I-
things today.
Yes.
Tell us about your first performance in front of a real live audience.
First performance, wow. I think that was at a comedy club, and just the energy alone that comes from that, just when you know you can make people laugh. You go on, but I'm always nervous when I go on. But after the show, and you have people that walk up to you afterwards, just says, "Dude, you're just hilarious."
You know what? I got a friend that would tell you, you better get rid of them damn nerves. Okay, you too talented for that.
No, because you never know. You travel, you do you different states. You don't know if they're gonna go with your comedy or not.
Right.
So when you got 45 minutes, and you got the other comics funny, the featured funny, and now you have to go up, and if no one's laughing, you got 45 minutes of
Right. Yeah, I mean,
talk time.
you don't know what kind of mood they're in for the day. I mean, if that's your audience, I mean,
But if
you
you can,
just don't know.
if you can get them to laugh the first 15 seconds, and it's like, okay, we're gonna go on a nice little ride. Other comics have done their work. Everybody's
Mhm.
laughing. Now it's up to you. They came for the crescendo, and hopefully you can bring it home. But if you're not funny, it's
In
gonna be
trouble.
and nobody talks to you after the show if you're not funny. They will, no, you're pretty good. You know, you
And then they
just
run
keep
off to the
working,
next
man.
guy to
You're good. That other guy was okay. You know, they're like, you should have been the headliner. He should have. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
I've gotten
goodness.
that. I've heard that too. I mean, even as I featured,
You
they're
know
like,
what?
you
And,
should be.
and that's terrible, especially if you're standing around there trying to shake
They
hands.
have no problem saying that. They have no problem. Like, that other guy is.
Well, you brought us some footage of one of your shows.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's take a look at it.
Uh-oh.
This is not political. You can laugh. You can laugh. I'm gonna say some black jokes. I'm gonna say some white jokes. So you can laugh. You ever walk down an aisle and you don't see anybody down that aisle, and you walk into that wall where they farted and left it? You would actually step behind a certain line in the kitchen and it would wait. If I was a dog, I'd probably still be married. Ran back, grabbed my ran back, threw it at the roach, tripped me out. The roach caught the shoe. The dog runs up and it hits me on the arm. I wake up, I'm like, hey, boy, how you doing? What's up, dog? Hey, the dog's like, I still have the dog.
I still, yeah. As we go through my divorce, I got the dog. Yes.
Now, you know what? I can see why kids would enjoy this. I mean, talking about dogs and roaches. I mean, because, they hear something totally different than we do as adults. So I can see why the children, it would be family appropriate.
And it's animated. I'm so animated. It's just people like your facial expressions. They're strong, and you just that's just my thing. It's just I want you to. If I can draw a picture in your head, because a lot of people we have to use the left side of the brain. I'm not sure that sees. I draw a picture. You can see what I'm seeing. We're good.
And we were talking about the difference with a stage performer and a film, someone that's doing a film, how much bigger you have to be on stage. And that's the same thing for you. You have to be really big for that person that's way by the door looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And to give off that animation.
I can't be just like,
No,
it's gotta be.
right.
Yes.
So how exhausting is that?
It's not. I mean, to me, it's just the energy. Laughter continues to fuel me. I'll do 3 shows in one night, 4 shows in one night in
Wow.
Portland. And it's just, and you try to remember, did I say that already? But it's just, let's do it again. Because laughter is,
Well, laughter is
you.
good for you.
Yeah, and that's why it helps you look younger.
Yeah.
Keeps the COVID away because it helps your lungs breathe.
Keeps you looking like Gregory Hines
Yes.
too.
And that's the other thing is like I don't stress a lot.
Good for
I've
you.
had about 58 jobs, and I've worked them extremely well.
Good for
And
you.
I don't worry about much of anything.
With the media, the footage that you brought us today, is this something that you selected yourself, or did you have someone else's eyes? Because I know as entertainers, we're very critical of our own work. So is this something that you selected on your own?
I did put that up there. The thing is, I have probably hundreds of tapes. I don't watch me.
Mm.
I do not like watching me at all. And I probably had 100 of tapes of me, and I probably watched 1 or 2 out of that 100. I will not
Right.
look at me because I'm so critical.
I understand that because I used to be that way, and I was telling my director that I went back watching some of the shows, but I didn't watch them in and talent eyes and in the host eyes. I watched them as the audience
I
member.
try.
So it was easy to sit there and enjoy. Like I was telling you, Lawyer Johnson, I got to watch his, and one of our celebrity makeup artists, I got to watch hers, and I really enjoyed it because I wasn't up here in my head.
I don't like listening to my voice. I don't like my voice.
Mm.
So when I hear it, it's just like, okay, I'm done. 3 minutes. I'm like, you got to get through this 40 minutes. So it's really like I can see things I can improve on, but I do not like listening to me.
Mm.
I do. It's just I'm like,
And why is that?
I don't. My voice. Some people have a good voice, and that voice sounds really like, wow, that's a nice voice. I listen to my voice and like, that's all you got. That's all you got.
And when we have something like that we think about ourselves, is that something because, I mean, do you think that's something that stems from childhood where someone may have teased you or said, oh, you have a horrible voice, or
I don't know
because I tell you, my brother used to tease me all the time, telling me I was knock-kneed, and I mean, I walked around covering my knees up for the longest.
No, I mean, just to jump back in, it's like, how did I get in the game of comedy? And one of the questions you put on there, when did you know that you were funny? As they say, as a child, I used to get beat up as a kid.
Mm.
So at 5'3", 113 pounds, I'm getting beat up. But even high school, and it was a girl that was doing it.
Oh. And you gonna tell us that today?
Yeah, I'm saying it was a girl that was doing it, and I was just like, man, So
if she can only see you
I'm
now,
looking for it right now.
yeah,
We can eat it.
you might not want to. You better leave her alone.
No, but that's so my voice. I don't know if that was it. It's just I listen to my voice. It's like I want that deeper voice.
We always want something that someone else has. What is what you're saying? I want that deeper voice, or I want to be taller, or I want to be this. Love what God has blessed you with, because it's working.
On stage, I mean, I guess that's why my persona comes out the way
Yes.
it does. If it was different, it'd probably come out different.
So where can our audience find you?
You can find me at Keith Ellis Comedy, or on Instagram on Keith Ellis Comedy, Facebook. I'm out there. If you see my Instagram, you'll see that people think I'm a workout-aholic. I do work out often. So
Okay.
there's people say that it inspires them.
It was such a pleasure to have you here today with us.
It was a joy. Thank you for the interview. I
Yes.
appreciate it so
Thank
much.
you.
As always.
And we will catch you next time here on Desertwood.